Welcome to our channel. This is Max.
This is Maya.
And we're
living currently in a temporary living room. We're renovating our home and we're staying at my sister. And we're inviting you to this little space to have a little conversation about what?
Relationship dynamics that are shifting.
Unconventional?
Oh, I don't want to say unconventional. Like maybe not societal norms.
Mm-hmm.
Or commercial norms. Because, Hollywood paints a picture of what the American household looks like.
Mm.
And
can we blame Hollywood for that?
We can.
Okay.
Let's blame Hollywood. And because I feel like Hollywood is doing the programming for the rest of us people, for us to look and be like, that's what I want.
Okay. And would you say that we are a sort of not living proof, that sounds so heroic.
I think for our relationship, we do a lot of things that aren't very conventional. I think the biggest one is our age gap. And I think it was a huge role in almost preventing us from pursuing a relationship.
Yeah, it's interesting when we talk about these unconventional elements that are in our relationship, because we've discussed celibacy in previous videos and I've stressed that was an important thing for us to come closer to one another. And the age gap, although there were certain fears and obstacles in the beginning, I know that the age gap allowed me to go inward and really check in with myself before pursuing you, which is something that I've never really done in a previous relationship. I checked in and I sort of started to see you as a whole and saw the whole bigger picture. And it sounds so formal, like I was strategically trying to figure out how to pursue you. But I think knowing that you had an age gap, I knew that there was higher stakes, and I knew that
I'm not playing games.
Yeah, you're not playing games, and if I'm pursuing you, I know it's gonna be the real deal, and it allows more. I think it allows more time to just pause, and also a moment to get to know you even better, I think.
And I think for me, I have more of a stigma of pursuing or being open to a younger man, because it's just like, at the time where I met Max, I was like, living the pinnacle of my YouTube social media career. And there was this idea of, success and even Black love, but it's an idea and it's being painted by media. And I met you in Colombia and we hit it off so well. And I was even afraid to admit that I had feelings for you. So I kept saying, he's such a good friend. He's such a good friend.
Yeah.
But I genuinely liked you. But I had to give myself time to be honest with my feelings, because I was afraid of being in a relationship with a younger man. And I was more established in my career. And at the time you were in school.
Yeah.
What I fell in love and I was able to see past all the noise was your work ethic and all these amazing qualities. And knowing that we are not stagnant, or at least you are not and I'm not. Like, we're constantly changing and evolving. I like that you are moving and changing, and I get to almost sit back and eat popcorn and watch the show. I have front row seats of the Max show, which has been a lot of fun.
What's good about big obstacles when you are pursuing something, and I'm saying obstacles that are obstacles that society has put in front of us. So let's say the age gap, the distance, the fact that you are at a different pace in your life and different time, it allows us not to just go by instincts. It's so easy to be, although I'm so much for being in the now, I think that when you follow your instincts too much, sometimes it's like you just throw yourself in there and you pour your energy towards someone else, and then you realize that this is not it, and then that leaves you with a big hole and a gap. And I think because these things were existing when I met you, it's just made it more easier to get to know you at your core. But it was intimidating for me to be with someone with that career already.
Right. Before we forget, we have to thank Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video. If you've been watching our channel, we're constantly plugging them.
Surfshark.
Thank you to our sponsor. Surfshark VPN is a service that basically tells the internets that you're over there when you're really over here. Here's a perfect example of using Surfshark VPN. Now, my friend sent me her baby registry, but I can't access it because we don't have this store here in Sweden. But that shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to turn my Surfshark VPN extension on, click connect, hit refresh. Bam! Now I can see the items. Before I couldn't see it because we didn't have the store. Thank you, Surfshark.
The good thing about Surfshark VPN is that you can use it on multiple devices. I use it on my phone, I use it on my laptop, and it works perfectly fine. It suits all kind of lifestyles. If you're on the go, if you're at home, it's just there, a great asset. So you can sign up today and get 83% off and 3 months for free if you use the promo code
MaxMaya.
And all the links are in the description below. Check it out. So we have an age gap, and that we've already established that's a.
It was less. I think it was a problem for sure in the beginning.
Of course, it
Initial,
was.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, don't say it. Well, like, of course, there's so many things that goes on. Like I know,
Aging eggs.
Like that's one. I know my wife doesn't think like that. Maya doesn't think in that. Those
My eggs are aging.
I'm gonna have a baby now.
I'm taught that women have a biological clock, and therefore, when I knew that I started to develop feelings for Maya, I knew that once the question comes up from her end that she
Don't
wants
be
to have a
shocked.
baby, I cannot be shocked, and I cannot be too naive to think that she can wait another 5-6 years to have a baby.
think I
I mean,
can do
I know she can, and that's powerful, and that's great that my wife has that optimistic thinking. She is the queen of manifestation, but for me, it was important to sit down with that thought and reflect upon that, because I could have, if I wasn't ready for that, I wouldn't have pursued you,
Yeah.
because it would be horrible to be like, no, I don't want kids, and then we enter a relationship, and
Right.
2 years in, you're like, I want to have a baby. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
And those are the conversations we had early on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's valid. It's important that we say that I understand that why age is a factor to why it might not work, or to why
Yes.
someone would be a bit apprehensive
Yes.
to like pursue a relationship. Like,
And if you have that mentality, then maybe dating younger is not for you. Like if you're so adamant about like, I'll
Yeah.
just, little caveat, there are many ways to bring babies into the world these days.
Yeah.
But if you need to biologically birth a human being, and you have, maybe it's genetics or thinking that says you got to do it now, yeah, then that's probably cause for pause. But for all the other ladies, especially my CEOs, my big boss girls, I would say be open to men who don't necessarily have the bank account statements that you do, but have really good qualities, whether it's emotional intelligence, hard work ethic. I remember I was so afraid of pursuing or being open to our relationship, and I was talking to a friend, and she was saying this like big CEO of some network was at a work party, and the table was being served by a waiter, and the waiter was, for whatever reason, they were hitting it off. They had really good chemistry. And she was also afraid of being open to this relationship. And fast forward, they're married and have kids. And I think there's something beautiful that if people can look past all the BS and really look at core values and not be afraid of what is healthy for you, that might come in a form that you didn't expect.
can we agree that age ain't nothing but a number, but it is a bit more than a number, but you can still find don't let it scare you out, basically, or
I would say don't let it shut down an opportunity. Look at all variables.
So having said that, with age, right? That's one thing. That's, you
Right.
came to this world 12 years before me.
I did.
When I was starting to when I was breastfed, you were like in high school.
Yeah.
So, that obviously comes with experiences. So you've had 12 years to establish yourself also in this
Yes.
world. So how does it feel to date someone, not date, I mean, we're married now, but
Yeah.
to date in the beginning with someone who is is not at the same level of the career?
Yeah, there's a lot of voices, like a lot of internal dialogue that I have. Like it's almost like, you know, I'm low-key schizophrenic because I'm like talking to myself. And I realized how deep the programming is, how loud the voices can be. And but when I was able to go through it, fast forward, we're married, we have a beautiful daughter and a beautiful home in the countryside.
Yeah.
And we work together.
Yeah, we work together.
And I think that really helped.
Yeah.
Because I was in a position where I had a production office, had to close it down, and I was I travel. I need to work with videographers, photographers, and you knew a lot about film. Like Max is a film buff. He loves watching movie. You love films, and I was like, this guy loves films. He's not even filming anything. So I remember like, here's a camera.
Yeah.
And because you were pursuing acting.
Yeah.
And you just naturally were good at photography, videography, and editing. And I think that allowed us to create together.
Yeah. Society puts pressure, especially on like the whole gender thing. Whether you believe in it or not, like there's always this thing where male are supposed to provide. Like this unconscious, like sort of hidden rule that men should be the one who's so we've seen relationships all the time where the man is 30 plus 20 plus years older than the wife, and we look at that and sort of accept it.
I could never.
Yeah, but we accept. It's easier for us to see that. At least now, I think it's changing a lot. But like seeing a man who's younger than his woman is a bit more taboo in comparison to male, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's a new trend. I don't know if it's a new trend, but there's more and more women I see doing it.
Yeah.
But when I met you, I realized I don't need financial help. I need support so I can continue to financially build. And I think you allowed me to do that. But I think more importantly, I think I am allowing you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have the opportunity to grow and build yourself. And it's been awesome to watch because I used to work as like cocktail waitress, like cashier, retail. And if I can go from there to here, you or anyone watching can go. Yeah. Any possibility is.
It's beautiful that you can see that the person that you're with, like, oh, I was at that point at some point. But do you think everyone wants that?
No, not everyone wants it, and not everyone should have it. But I think if you have established yourself and you're comfortable, in your own skin, like I'm an independent, I don't need you to provide for me.
No, you didn't make the impression that you needed someone to provide for you, which was reassuring when you were already facing that like pressure. Right. Like I think that you reassured me by just your core essence, by where you come from your family. You come from very like humble upbringing. Yeah. So when I started to see you, like I was aware, and there was like a hidden insecurity where I'm like, man, I'm not making enough money. I'm like, but there was something about you that I learned early in our relationship, that you appreciated the small things, actions, the conversations, being listened to. And it's almost as if I turned that into some sort of currency where I could just like transact. Like it was a concern. Like the only currency I had at that point was love, unconditional love for you, and my presence. Because I didn't have anything else, and I swear that
it's so sweet though.
Yeah, but I swear that when you like that's so it sounds maybe cliche that's all I had, but I could also feel like you appreciated it. Yeah, you value it that equally as much you would, or not even more. The material. Yeah, because
I'm not easily like aroused by restaurants, designers.
No, you're aroused when I'm holding a hammer and like tearing.
Oh yeah. What you doing over there? Speaking of hammers, I would say another like unconventional relationship dynamic is my propensity for DIY projects and repairing things, and you love being in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Not to say that we don't do either or, but
Yeah, no.
I like.
And let's also make sure that we know that these are traditional
Yeah.
standards that are forced upon us without, like, when we're reluctant towards these labels anyway. But it is a fact that in traditional stereotypes, men tends to do more physical work.
Physical, like, repairs and plumbing and all that stuff, and women cook.
But we're here to puncture that stereotype because we've swapped it around. I love cooking.
You love cooking.
Yeah.
Baking. He's a baker.
He's a baker, y'all.
He's a baker, ladies. He'll bake you a pie. He'll bake me a pie. But I will like fix a laundry machine. I'm like, give me the compost. That's my job.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine taking buckets of food scraps and shit? And like Max is like, he's like, I think I should do it. Like, I love composting. Let me do it.
Yeah, and again, as a male or whatever you identify yourself as, like whatever you identify your core as, I think that that might be intimidating to have your partner, the opposite partner, to do these certain things. But I see how much it means to Maya and how much she prosper in her creativity when she gets to fix things. That I'm just like, I love seeing her fix the laundry machine. I love her putting up a shelf. I do. Like, it's and also the actual action together.
Right.
There's something we can do together.
Yeah.
Like, I like the fact that we can
Build a deck.
together.
Yeah.
As an activity.
Do you remember when you like asked me if like you want me to like screw this in?
Oh yeah, and you're like,
My response, absolutely not,
Yeah.
because I just have a like measurements in my head, and I'm like, you don't touch that.
Yeah, no. So I'm more of an improviser, and she's like to the.
You know what I'll also say that I thought was really amazing for me to experience? I have a lot of masculine energy, and it was the first time for me to be in a relationship with someone who had more feminine energy.
Right. Yeah.
I hope you don't take that as an insult.
No.
But it was a whole new world had opened for me where I was like, wow, I can be myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to like do like girly things. I found when I was dating previously, I would, play the part of like, this is what girls do, like nails, makeup. Oh, I gotta make sure my toes are did because I know he likes toes. And I'm like, I don't have to do that with you.
No. I like that you appreciate it, and I love that you can be there for me in those moments. But I also know that maybe my biggest strength, if the emotional part, the sensitivity is my biggest strength, I also know that that's the characteristic, or that's the trait that I have that will come haunt me.
Yeah.
And someone with your energy will let me know when it's not a moment of like emotions. This is not a time for, and it sounds pretty cruel. Like Maya would be like, "Stop crying, Will." You know what I mean?
I don't say
no,
that.
I know. She would never. But there are moments when Maya say, okay, but this is what we need to do now.
Yeah.
This is not a time to dwell into our emotions. This is a time where, okay, you're feeling like this. Well, maybe you need to do this.
Yeah.
And I need that in my life. I need that balance and stability. And you complete me with that.
Yeah.
With your energy.
Yeah. And I will say in the beginning, it was like a bit of a shock, like to see like you cry and like be so sensitive. I'm like, because again, the society conditioning kicks in. It's like, men aren't supposed to do this. And then I had to check myself, and I'm like, yeah, but it's okay. I'm not affected, so I can help you in those moments, or like however that comes across, however that help translates.
Yeah.
I think what's most important is to know thyself. Like, know who you are and play to your strengths. That was the biggest revelation for me in my relationship with you, being aware of your femininity and my masculinity.
Yeah.
And embracing it and seeing how I had been playing a part in other relationships.
Yeah. What would you say is the conventional things?
Oh, the conventional? Being new parents.
Yeah.
I'm more than comfortable being a mother, staying at home with our daughter Saga, doing laundry, doing dishes. You hate dishes. You hate both of those.
No, I love dishes. I do dishes all the time.
You used to lean your head on... Anyways. He would do dishes with his head on the wall. He's like a zombie.
I don't mind dishes.
Okay.
Laundry I don't like.
Okay. So, well, these are things that I don't mind doing. And if in fact I'm encouraging you to get out there and work.
Yeah.
I'm like, go out there and
Well, I
do
think
what you need to do.
exactly like that natural mother instincts is that you want to be with Saga, you want to nurse her as much as you can when she's this age, whereas I have this urge to work, make money, to come back home.
Yeah.
And I think in the beginning it was like it felt hard because it's like you had so many issues.
Oh yeah.
So it was hard to see you
trimester.
suffer so much. But as you grew out from the 4th trimester, you've been killing it. You've been killing it on so many levels. And I'm on the sideline cheering for my wonderful wife.
But I'm cheering for you too. Like I want you
Yeah, I know.
to work and
And I
succeed.
feel I don't know if I felt comfortable with that in the beginning.
Okay.
Not because of what you said, because of my own.
Yeah.
Like I felt bad leaving the house when you were home with a screaming baby. But now it feels more like I can go to the office and I know that Maya supports what I'm doing
Yeah.
in the office. And yeah, that's a good point. The conventional. So we're not aliens.
No, we're not aliens.
And I think a lot of the things that we have mentioned today, the age, the career difference, and all these things, that's ideal for us and it's worked in our favor.
Yeah.
But it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. I think you have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
But be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
If you like, fancy things, then get you a fancy man.
Yeah. I think
if you are hyper feminine, but I think a lot of women are more masculine than they think they are.
Yeah.
Because-
and men are feminine more than they are too.
Yeah, actually, top or bottom.
We would love for you to continue this conversation in the comments
Yes.
below. Share with us if you have been in a relationship where you are living under more unconventional standards or conventional standards. Just share whatever.
Yeah, what makes your relationship unique?
Yeah.
Apart from the stereotypical gender roles. Make sure you're subscribed, notifications on, all that jazz. See you next time.
Thank you. See you later. Hey,
Hey, doll.